I just told Chris Demm, what an affirmation yesterday. I was at a big box store, and a guy sought me out, and he said, I want to tell you something.
I've seen Biggie. He is that fat.
Yes, I get that sometimes. That sometimes they'll say, I thought you all were kidding about Biggie and him being that big, and then I saw him from afar, and he really is that big.
That's been the theme of my career.
That's true.
Yeah, it kind of has. You know what you do? You exceed expectations.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Is Biggie that big?
Yeah. Thanks.
Bigger.
Yeah.
Past.
Yeah, it's shocking he's walking.
I know. He's ambulatory.
He's ambulatory, but he's also larger than life.
I got a cousin, 200 pounds less than him. Can't move a muscle.
I thought about you the other day, Biggie. We were flying home from San Francisco, the San Francisco to Atlanta leg.
Yeah.
And there was a dude who was big. Not Biggie big, but big. Significantly larger. And he was 2 rows in front of us on the other side of the aisle.
Yeah.
And I think his brother, it was one of those 3 seats.
Mm-hmm.
So he was on the aisle. His brother was at the window, and there was one in the middle. And I think big dude's wife was in the middle, and she would not take her seat for whatever reason.
Right.
And I thought, what's going on here?
Yeah.
And finally, once they close the cabin doors, all the passengers are on board.
Mm-hmm.
And so finally, the woman who was standing between the 2 large men said, I can't sit between them. There's no room.
Wow.
My goodness. He
So
said that.
they moved her to a vacant seat.
That was nice. They had a vacant seat.
Yeah, they did.
She actually said it, really.
Yes.
And
it's her family.
Well, okay. You say it because it's family.
Well, but I've never played that game. I've always done 2 seats.
You do 2 seats.
I've always thought, I know this, I've always thought I am my size. It's not I don't want to put the burden on other people.
I just saw a woman on TikTok, and I didn't get this audio because it's racial in nature and it made me pucker a bit. But she was sitting on a plane. She's a larger African-American woman. And you saw it.
I've seen this.
You're nodding. Okay. Apparently,
You and your TikToks. I just shake my head. Go ahead. Sorry.
that's the problem, isn't it? I'm out there.
source.
Here I am out there on TikTok. You don't even know if we have no idea if it's even real. You never know. But I just saw it, and apparently a guy is sitting next to her. But
She doesn't know him?
No, they're strangers on a plane getting ready to go somewhere, and you never even see him. But what has happened is he has texted somebody, and she's read his text, and the text he sent was, "They stuck me next to this fat black woman."
Bro.
Yeah.
So she says.
I'll tell you, I think it is real.
Yeah.
Because you hear him play the I don't know what you're talking about card and then begin the meager, I'm sorry.
Right. That's probably is real. Because then she turns the camera on herself and she said, I just want you to know. And she looks over him. I saw what you said and you are disgusting.
I want you to feel as awkward as I feel.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's a great line.
Yeah. And he says, I don't know what you're talking about. And she goes, I know you know what I'm talking about. I read your text and I won't repeat it because you're disgusting. And he says, I'm sorry.
He real quick voice change.
Yeah, he did.
So there's a backpedal.
Oh, significant backpedal. Exactly.
I don't know what you speak of, but she had him dead to rights.
Why would you ever put that out there to somebody? I mean, you could tell the guy later if you want to.
In that scenario, it's human nature to look at other people's phones.
That's the other thing.
You remember your texting story.
I know. See, that sometimes I think, well, are you being a little nosy, a little over the line to read what the man is texting? But it is out in front of you. And I was standing behind a man in Salsaritas once, looking over his shoulder, watching him text an unbelievably sexually explicit line to his partner.
I think glomming onto someone's text is over the line.
You do? You think reading that is over?
I understand human nature. Like if someone has a laptop screen, that's one thing.
Yep.
Or like the other day, I watched 80 for Brady.
Right.
Through the seat in front of me.
Yeah.
Of all the choices.
Yeah. But
I didn't pick it.
Let me ask you this though. Let's say that
But
person,
looking at someone's phone, that's a much smaller, more personal space.
So if the person on watching 80 for Brady starts to type an email or something, if you're reading it through the seat and I'm reading this person's email, you could stop.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that either. But now what
if she said, I think the guy behind me is watching 80 for Brady.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Then you turn a TikTok. You're disgusting for what you just said.
Okay.
Yes, I'm watching 80 for
I've
Brady.
been 80 for Brady shamed.
I'm not paying for it. It's what they're showing.
She's up there in Comfort Plus.
This does happen from time to time
Yeah.
where somebody, you read it. Now, I agree with you. I think it's a little bit much.
That's just your personal space is your phone.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. But if I was him, I think he should be ashamed for typing something like that.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, but he probably never. I didn't see. He never thought someone would see it.
No, but in this era today, and immediately he's like, oh God, you know, look what I've typed, and he's put it out there to the world. You know, he could have said that. He could have in the privacy of his own car.
Do you see the
later.
man's face in the TikTok?
I didn't. But listen, I was puckering, so
No.
I turned it off.
Yeah.
She said her piece, and I was like, "Oh, I'm done with
Yeah,
this."
it was very.
You don't want to ever do anything to ruffle feathers like that.
Chris Demm, back to the large brothers
Yes.
on the flight. How was the flight attendant nice about moving? So I just feel like, you know, now you see kind of snappy flight attendants.
Yeah, they were actually pretty cool.
Pretty nice about it.
Yeah,
I mean, that's just rare where, you know,
Yeah, there
it's
were about
like-
a half dozen empty seats, like they were other Delta crew members. You know, just picking seats,
Yeah.
deadheading,
Yeah.
as we say.
Lucky there were open
Very lucky.
seats.
Well, I mean,
on
it
there.
was an early flight on Memorial Day.
Do you know how the TikTok turned out? Because I did turn it off early. I just, I ran.
She just chastised, and he just kept repeatedly in a lower and lower. I'm sorry.
And then they made out right when they were landing.
Wouldn't that be incredible? That's your meet cute. All of a
I'm not a
sudden.
racist.
Oh, he called me fat and black.
I'm not a racist. I'll prove it by making
I
out
called
with
him a
you.
racist.
Yeah.
Now we're married.
Now here we are.
Yeah.
And I'm expecting.
They should be on a show like a reality show. Years
Yeah.
ago. Here's how we met. That's a worst meetups.
Set the record straight.
Worst meetups, and that sure you go on there and you tell how it is.
I think if he had just said, "I'm next to this fat woman,"
You think it's different?
it's
I do
still
too.
it's hurtful, but I don't think it takes it. You know, when you throw in,
Doesn't sting as much.
yeah.
I agree. Well, the racial element
Yeah.
is so. I thought yesterday now this maybe this is going to be bad to say it. Yesterday there was a story in a Buc-ee's parking lot. Biggie's been to Buc-ee's, all right? And there was a guy who was a cop came up to him and said, "You're speeding through Buc-ee's parking lot." And the guy said, "You don't have the right to tell me that. You're here and you have no jurisdiction in Buc-ee's parking lot." And it got the guy like escalated it.
They both dug in.
They both dug in, and the cop said, "I don't have my ticket booked right now. I'm out of ticket.
Otherwise, you'd get a ticket."
You'd get a ticket." And I thought, there were two white guys, and I thought if one of them was black, it would take on a different tone. To me, if the victim here, if the guy had been speeding, was black,
I'm sure you're right.
it would take on it just would be different, which is unfortunate, here in America.
Did you see the headline about black people being stopped by cops?
No.
They say you can tell in the first 45 seconds if you're going to be arrested.
Really?
Yep.
That's what black
Just
people
based
say.
on current data, they say if the officer tells the black driver, turn off the car or keep your hands where I can see them, you're getting
You're
arrested.
getting arrested, and you know that.
Especially within the first 40 seconds.
And you know that almost immediately. Wow. Well, the person in
This guy's like, what are you, future time cop?
yeah, he did. Yeah, exactly. Okay, exactly.
Great line.
What are you going, Jean-Claude Van Damme, future time cop? Yes, that was a great line.
Yeah.
But he did. Now,
He might get nightsticked if he was a black dude.
exactly. Now, the guy did get cuffed. I mean, the white guy got cuffed and ticketed, and the cop is now suspended because he's
Yeah.
in a Buc-ee's parking lot.
Well, and also he had to embarrassingly radio someone else to bring him a ticket book.
That was embarrassing, too. He said, my friend is bringing me. It took 20 minutes. It took him 20 minutes. He's like,
Yeah.
my friend is bringing
I won't take you to jail because it's not. I mean, that cop. I think he knew he was
Yep.
in the wrong, but couldn't change it at that point.
Plus, everything's on video, of course.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
like this TikTok in the airplane. She just turned it on herself and said it. I agree with you. The racial element goes one step
Yeah.
farther than if it was just body shaming somebody, Here's the whole thing. I love how Chris Demm said this. Chris Demm says, is Biggie as big as, is he, yeah, he's larger than life. That's what we're saying now.
Right.
People say, is Biggie as big as this? Yeah, he's larger than life. Can
And
he-
sometimes the questioning tone is, how's Biggie? Since the hospital incident, the tone has changed.
The tone has changed because it's a heart issue. But he's fine. He's fine.
Yeah.
He's fine.
He's medicating and low-so.
He's medicating. He's low-so. He's fine. And so that's what I say. He's ambulatory. It's wonderful. Everything. He's great. And the person in the big box store did not say to me,
It's not about Biggie.
how big is Biggie? He came running up to me, and he said, I love the TV commercial about you, Nick.
Aw,
Your junk.
your dong.
Wow.
To me,
Your dong TV
I
ad.
love your dong TV ad.
Well, it's had some big sporting events recently,
Yeah.
and that's when it seems to play. I saw a lot of you.
I did too.
I saw a lot of you.
I saw me. There's one with me and the Littlest Patriot that's been airing a lot
Yes.
lately.
I think you'll be on the NBA Finals. We got the U.S. Open coming up.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed,
It
right?
may not be French Open material.
No.
The tennis,
Yeah.
I think you're right.
You did wrap up the Indy 500.
Hey.
Yeah.
Right during that
Yeah.
great finish of the
Yeah.
Indy 500. That's
Yeah.
pretty good. I'll take it. You know,
Yeah.
I'll take that. And I've been on some NBA.
Okay.
I've seen myself on some NBA playoffs, which is nice.
We got Stanley Cup final.
I wonder if I'll make the Stanley Cup final.
Possible.
I don't know. I've seen me and the Littlest Patriot. The joke on that ad is I'm so much taller than him, and when we stand up, the camera just basically comes to my nipples, and he's still in frame. My daughter said, "Is he really that short?" And I said, "Yes, my dear, he is really
He's smaller than life.
smaller." He is. That's right. Yes.
Oftentimes when someone passes, you'll do a video montage. Will you want these works to be in your video montage?
I do.
Many years from now when you pass, should we say,
Yeah.
well, here's some of his highlighted work?
I think so. I mean, it represents. It's part of the fabric of what I was.
He was an actor.
Yeah. He put
A
it out.
DJ.
That's right. A DJ, an actor. That's right. It's out there.
Has that particular client approached you about a new commercial? It's been a
while.
Been a while.
That was late summer, I guess, last year. And I'm having trouble. He has not, but I'm having trouble now thinking of a new campaign. I thought of one, but it would take. I would have needed to shot it during the snow. And there, obviously,
We didn't get any.
We didn't get any snow this year. So now I should go back to the drawing board on this, I guess, and see where we can go with it.
Snow idea. That's something.
Yeah. And
That's an awfully deep angel.
it's for erectile dysfunction.
no one makes Angel's face down.
Yeah. That's no snowman.
Do you want to build a snowman?
I had an idea.
Yeah.
I just had an idea.
Well, you could do the old "that water's cold," deep
Too.
Yeah.
I mean, we're all,
fishing off a bridge joke.
of course.
Yeah.
There's all these different ideas, but it has to be classy.
Well, that's right.
The television,
They don't like edgy.
they won't run the
No.
edgy ads, so you can't do that.